0719 593 532 or Precious on 0719 593 510 or email tandeka.mubi@zbc.co.zw. Terms and conditions apply.
Make a wish come true with the TM Pick and Pay Christmas Wish. Visit our Facebook page for more details. This time check is brought to you by TM Pick and Pay.
We're broadcasting live from our Provincial studios right here in Highlands, Harare. My name is Zain Jamu and welcome to the main news.
My name is Joyce Mabika. Piswe Jomunika is on sign language.
And of course later on, Dora Ngube will be joining us from our Montrose studios.
We take the bulletin starting with the headlines.
Former Vice President Mphoko dies.
Concerns raised over a desecration of more than 300 graves at Westland Memorial Park in Harare.
And in sport, 2024 Castle Lager PSL Soccer Stars Awards on tonight.
And I'll give you the news in detail. A former Vice President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Ambassador Mphoko, has died. In a statement, President Emmerson Mnangagwa announced the sad news, saying former Vice President Mphoko died after a long illness.
In his condolence message to the Mphoko family and the entire nation, President Mnangagwa described Comrade Mphoko as a veteran of the liberation struggle who was among its early architects, brave fighters, and crop of formative and outstanding commanders.
The head of state said the nation has lost another stalwart of the liberation struggle, whose contribution to national independence can hardly be overstated. President Mnangagwa added that Comrade Mphoko's early expose to diplomacy during the liberation struggle prepared him for his long career in the diplomatic service after independence, which saw him serving as Zimbabwe's ambassador in various countries, including the Russian Federation.
The president said Comrade Mphoko's appointment as vice president was both deserved and consistent with his sacrifice and long service to the people of Zimbabwe.
President Mnangagwa said after his service in government, Comrade Mphoko continued to work with the ruling ZANU-PF party, including lending his unqualified support during the 2023 general elections. Meanwhile, the ZANU-PF Politburo has unanimously declared Comrade Mphoko a national hero in recognition of his illustrious service to the country before and after independence.
Sad news indeed. We continue to say that may his soul rest in peace. The sad news indeed. Meanwhile, Zimbabwe is set to benefit from an Indonesian grant aimed at converting coal into fertilizer. Let's get more from the following report.
On his review, his country is working on a grant to assist Zimbabwe to manufacture fertilizer from coal.
We are working with the government of Zimbabwe how that machine can be available with the grant. So that with the grant, that means we can, between G to G, to support working together, and Indonesia would like to support the food security in Zimbabwe through coal converting to fertilizer. Hopefully we can start off discussing to procure this machine with the grant in 2025.
Agreement is expected to transform the fertilizer industry through producing an affordable commodity.
That technology is able to convert what remains from coal, and they convert that to fertilizer. In Zimbabwe, we do require in excess of 600,000 metric tons of fertilizer for both the top and the basal dressing fertilizer. If we are able to produce fertilizer locally, would reduce a lot of the costs associated with our production.
Meanwhile, Zimbabwe and Indonesia have signed an agreement that will see Indonesia assisting with artificial insemination to improve livestock breeds. 10 Time Munengwa, ZBC News, Harare.
The Chancellor of the Zimbabwe Open University, President Emmerson Mnangagwa, has capped more than 3,000 graduates at the institution's 22nd graduation ceremony, which coincided with the university's Silver Jubilee in Harare this Friday. We get that detail from our chief correspondent, Ruben Barwe.
The 22nd Zimbabwe Open University ZOU graduation ceremony coincided with the Silver Jubilee of the university. It has been 25 years of unlocking human capital potential through open and distance learning. What a day in the life of a university and that of graduates. With the 7 faculties, 3,320 graduates were kept by the Chancellor, President Emmerson Mnangagwa, at the university's permanent site in Hatcliffe, Harare. The Vice-Chancellor of the university, Professor Paul Gundani, said, despite many challenges the university is facing, they remain grateful to the government.
I would like to register ZOU's gratitude for the 15 new posts which government granted to ZOU in late 2023 so that we can have a ZOU campus radio in line with heritage-based education 5 philosophy. The installation of the campus radio station encompasses 2 state-of-the-art studios and a dedicated control room, which has been successfully concluded. The station is now operational and broadcasting on 105.2 megahertz in Harare. During the year 2024, we continued to upscale existing knowledge and skills among disadvantaged communities in the country through top quality short courses, which we offered free of charge in partnership with the Angel of Hope Foundation, an NGO ably run by our First Lady. This year alone, we trained 12,789 beneficiaries. Since the program's inception on 13th September 2021, we have trained a total of 59,443 community members.
The university is not an island and has been engaging local and foreign institutions, sharing experiences. You talk of Domboshawa Theological College and other tertiary institutions within and outside Zimbabwe.
I'm pleased to inform you that ZOU signed the prestigious Russia-Zimbabwe Memorandum of Agreement on the recognition of qualifications between these two organizations. We also signed memoranda of understanding with National Information Society Agents of South Korea for the establishment of an information access center which will be based at this campus. This marked a pivotal moment in ZOU's journey towards digital transformation. ZOU also signed a trilateral memorandum of understanding with Rabindranath Tagore University in India in partnership with the Zimbabwe Teachers Association, ZIMTA, to promote development in the academic and technical support areas.
Women constitute 65% of the graduates. Among them was the late Senator Lillian Timvios, who graduated posthumously. A 70-year-old who was a class behind President Mnangagwa at the University of Zambia, Andreas Zwaiwa, received his doctorate degree in counseling at this year's graduation. True drums of self-ostentation are beaten. ZBC's own Chennai Masawi, Guy Mawanidzo, Gerald Shasa, Jeremiah Mahoso make us all proud, as they were also kept by the Chancellor.
Today is a day for celebration, not only for these two guys, but we also have Guy Mawanidzo and Chennai Masawi. It's a celebration for ZBC, it's a celebration for these guys, it's a celebration for their families, it's a celebration for Zimbabwe. These are two newsmen. Takatsingirira tikafamba mune zvakanaka nhasi tiri kuti tafara ende tichifamba nedonzo remutungamiri wedu wenyika President Emerson Mnangagwa rekuti nyika inovakwa nevene vayo haingovakwa nevene nje. Vaine vayo vanofanira kunge vaine magwaro ende magwaro acho ndo atakwanisa kunge tichipiwa nemutungamiri wenyika atakatobata. Inini sajournalist ndakatirega ndiite development studies. Ndaita development studies kuita kuti ndikwanise kusvitsa mashoko kuva vanhu vese venyika yeZimbabwe vanatsonzwisisa kuti Second Republic kana ichitaura nezvedevelopment iri kutaura nezvenyaya dzipi.
Two young females and male students of the Zimbabwe Open University, Wendy Tanga and Blessing Maninga, won the E.D. Mnangagwa Chancellor's Awards of $1,000 United States each. Several other students received $500 each for excelling in their studies, whilst a Mozambican Ferreira Alves received a doctorate degree in business management. The Zimbabwe Open University is addressing the energy gap through production through biomethane, renewable and alternative energy source for heating, lighting and cooking. All this is in keeping with Education 5.0, said the Vice Chancellor, Professor Gundani. Ruben Barwe, ZBC News, Harare.
Well, congratulations to our colleagues right there. Indeed, knowledge is power. We move into the next report where Zimbabwe's plan to realize benefits from the platinum mining sector are on track as government has expressed satisfaction over Zimplats' $1.8 billion United States investment strategy.
In 2021, the country's biggest platinum producer, Zimplats, signed a $1.8 billion United States 10-year investment plan with the government. In terms of the agreement, the platinum producing firm announced plans to boost production, construct smelter units, forge ahead with the beneficiation and expand projects. Presenting results of the government's effective finding mission on the plan, Mines and Mining Development Minister Honorable Winston Chitando said that the mining entity has achieved progress on implementation.
Zimplats now has the basic, all the equipment which is required to be able to extract minerals from the concentrates. So you find that the first pot is the nickel sub-refinery in the main refinery, the nickel. So it's already there. Then there is the next section, which is the copper. The equipment has been purchased, the major components of the equipment to have the copper section of the refinery operational. The equipment is already there. Then you also then have the equipment to handle the PGM cake is also already there. So the equipment required, most of the equipment required to make the Zimplats refinery operational is now on site.
The rolling out of new projects is being described by government as a show of confidence in the platinum mining sector.
Zimplats' objective of having a new smelter was, one, to be able to process the increased throughput from mining activities, and secondly, to be able to offer third parties a toll treatment facilities in their smelter, to the extent that Mimosa from January will be sending a significant amount, January 2025, of its production to the Zimplats smelter. It will no longer be exported. It will be processed at the Zimplats smelter, which again on design was a fundamental consideration of incorporating capacity for third parties. Having finished the smelter, Zimplats now is concentrating on completing the refinery.
The capital projects are in line with the Vision 2030 aspirations of transforming Zimbabwe into an upper middle income society. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
The National Blood Services Zimbabwe is urgently seeking more than 7,500 units of blood to meet festive season requirements. This comes in the wake of revelations that stocks of blood group O have significantly dwindled.
Festive period comes with added pressure and demand for blood due to an increase in road traffic accidents. A spike in road traffic accidents within the last 2 months has already painted a gloomy outlook for the festive season as authorities prepare to respond to the anticipated pressure. At the official launch of the festive season blood collection campaign in Harare this Friday, National Blood Services Zimbabwe disclosed the urgent need for at least 7,000 units to meet demand.
For the festive season, we want to collect 7,460 units. That's our target for the festive season. If I am to take in the November collections plus the anticipated 7,000, you will find that it will get roughly to about the 13,000. So we've launched much later. We normally launch our festive season campaign right in the first week of November, but this year we left it a little bit later. So we've already moved as far as making inroads into that.
The festive season in Zimbabwe is largely associated with a sharp increase in road accidents that result in high demand for blood and blood products.
America, Dr. Janet Palmer, who is part of the Illinois Black Chamber of Commerce delegation currently in the country, met with the First Lady, Dr. Auxilium Mnangagwa, at her offices in Harare this Thursday. Let's get more.
The success of First Lady Dr. Auxilium Mnangagwa's women empowerment initiatives have earned her recognition with an international corporate and personal coach from the United States of America, Dr. Janet Palmer, who paid courtesy call on Amai Mnangagwa this Thursday. Dr. Palmer, who is also a psychologist, is part of the American delegation from the Illinois Black Chamber of Commerce, which has been in the country from the 1st of this month. During the meeting, Dr. Mnangagwa and Dr. Palmer deliberated on several issues pertaining women empowerment, with Amai Mnangagwa voicing concern over a surge in drug abuse cases, saying she is working flat out to curb the menace. Amai Mnangagwa added that Dr. Palmer's visit comes in handy since the country can do with psychological experts in light of drug abuse cases.
Now, 50 and above is the age that we want to see leading our children in a proper way of how life must be treated. But today it's a mixed up thing. There's no 50-year-old woman, there's no 20-year-old. What the 10-year-old is doing is done by a 50-year-old woman. So we want to try to separate. The age that you are in is different from the age that is around you today. This is a family war, which we need to win, and we have to win it. We have to come up with strategies of how we can start it, how we can start implementing some of these programs. I've been doing these empowerment projects in so many areas involving all age groups. But this one now is more specific because we want them to impart that knowledge to the youngsters. If we bring together these women of age, teach them how to handle this, because now what is happening, mothers are crying. Some are taking their children to police to say, please, stay with him there. I don't want to see him back home. So if we take that age group, that's the most critical group that will take all the training to help fix the family setup first before they go out to the community.
Dr. Mnangagwa added the need for women to always be strong and resilient, since they are at the center of every challenge that is faced by the family and the community. Dr. Palmer weighed in, saying she was touched by the First Lady's humility in ensuring that her women folk live purposeful lives. She went on to express her keenness to learn from Amai Mnangagwa and to work closely with her in some of your women-centric projects.
We have come here because we deeply believe that there is not only a bond, but a purpose in ensuring that blacks, both stateside and here, are bonded together. Because if we work effectively together, knowing that we are common, we are of one body, fabulous things can happen. And my desire to meet with the First Lady is because I became aware of the fact that she is very interested in the women of Zimbabwe and enabling them to be the best that they were created to be. And that is my creative purpose. And so I look forward to being able to meet with her, bond with her, and collectively learn from her, so that women, not just in Zimbabwe, but the ability to blend Zimbabwe, the First Lady of Zimbabwe, and a commoner of the United States together, I think that gives a message of the power of women and the collective bond that we as women, irrespective of our labels.
First Lady Dr. Zillia Mnangagwa, an empowerment champion, has spearheaded various life-transforming initiatives through the Angel of Hope Foundation. Through the foundation, she has never turned a blind eye to every challenges that communities face, mainly women and children, and has embraced everyone with equal attention and love, which has earned her admiration from the country and beyond the country's borders. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Harare.
Harnessing the International Criminal Police Organization Interpol playbook in tackling white-collar and organized crimes dominated proceedings at the ZRP graduation ceremony in Harare this Wednesday.
White-collar crimes such as fraud and money laundering have become increasingly sophisticated, with the criminals exploiting loopholes in the law enforcement system. In a bid to combat the rising tide of white-collar and organized crimes, the ZRP has been urged to shape up and take a leaf from Interpol. This was the key message at the graduation ceremony of more than 500 police officers at the Police Staff College in Harare.
In order to continuously close some of the knowledge gaps in this area, the ZRP has taken advantage of learning opportunities provided by international partners such as Interpol. Only recently, there was a training workshop on digital and cryptocurrency, which was jointly organized by Afripol and Interpol. Going forward, it will be noble for the Zimbabwe Republic Police to take advantage of resource persons from Interpol and introduce programs and courses at Police Staff College that will tap into their global expertise. I challenge you, Principal Staff College and Commissioner General of Police, to identify areas you may need such support and engage Interpol, since it has the human resource capacity to provide such support.
The Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, Innovation, Science and Technology Development, Ambassador Frederick Shawa, is convinced the adoption of the Education 5.0 philosophy in government institutions will drive the nation towards Vision 2030.
As government, we are optimistic that since you have been empowered with the tools of trade to be catalysts for the envisaged crucial positive changes, we require within our societies, you will deliver up to that promise.
The graduation ceremony saw 337 males and 216 females receiving diplomas in various fields. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Government is taking a multifaceted approach to enhance the country's prison infrastructure and conditions. Let's get more from the following report.
This was revealed by the Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Ziyambi, on the sidelines of the Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service graduation ceremony in Harare this Friday.
The majority of our prisons were built in the 50s. So the buildings are now very old. We are now undertaking a program of building new prisons and we are in the process of identifying partners, so to speak, that can assist us to come up with prison facilities. We are in the process of trying to move our prison here in Harare Central to here at Chikurubi Farm, so that we build a better facility here.
The graduates included 58 students from ZPCS and 5 from Rwanda Correctional Service, with the Rwanda's top envoy to Zimbabwe, Mr. James Musoni, commending the sound relationship between the two nations.
This training is a testament of the collaboration, good collaboration between Rwanda and Zimbabwe. And we appreciate the government of Zimbabwe's effort to allow our students to come and pursue courses here.
Graduates pledged to use the expertise gained over a 12-month course for the benefit of their respective nations.
Throughout this course, you have been trained on how to develop a tailor-made or individualized rehabilitation of offenders.
The modules that we undertook, they molded us. Actually, they enlightened us to become leaders who are entrepreneurial-minded, who are innovative and creative.
Government is introducing comprehensive prison reforms, including open prisons, to enhance rehabilitation outcomes. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
The Southern African Development Community SADC and international cooperating partners have agreed to implement various policies for swift socio-economic and political benefit of the two parties. The details from Olindori.
Since assuming the chairmanship of the regional bloc in August this year, Zimbabwe has maintained the need for speedy implementation of agreed areas of cooperation for the growth of SADC. A virtual meeting between SADC and International Cooperating Partners ICP held this Friday saw SADC Executive Secretary, His Excellency Mr. Elias Mahosi, highlighting that dialogue is crucial in providing a regional cohesion on matters of sustainable development.
SADC remains appreciative of the continued support of our esteemed cooperating partners towards the implementation of the regional integration agenda. Your immense contribution has enabled the region to tackle a range of development issues which have positively impacted the livelihoods of our peoples.
A co-chair and permanent secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Ambassador Albert Chimbindi, called for consistent dialogue in the engagement process.
There is need to strengthen alliances to ensure collective approaches to common global challenges. We believe that through mutual cooperation and collaboration, we can together chart a positive trajectory aimed at mitigating the effects of the challenges that the world is faced with today.
Representing the international cooperating partners, His Excellency Petra Perea spoke on the need to drive positive growth through successful partnerships in the region.
As chair of the International Cooperating Partners to SADC, let me acknowledge once more the leadership and the SADC's ownership of the regional integration agenda, and confirm on behalf of all of the international cooperating partners that we fully align our cooperation with SADC's priorities as spelled out in the Regional Integrated Strategic Development Plan. So in this sense, I fully reflect the words of previous speakers, co-chairs, as well as Executive Secretary in terms of alignment, in terms of mutual respect, trust, and solidarity.
International cooperating partners are part of SADC's bilateral and multilateral partners that support the bloc's regional integration and poverty reduction priorities. Olin Ndori, ZBC News, Harare.
You can also visit our website for these and more stories in detail. It is www.zbcnews.co.zw.
Or you can get in touch with us on our social media handles, that is at ZBC News Online.
Still to come in this bulletin. concerns raised over desecration of more than 300 graves at Westland Memorial Park in Harare.
And in sport, 2024 Castle Lager PSL Soccer Stars Awards on tonight. The main news takes a breather. We'll be back with you shortly.
Mawuya, Samngele. Welcome home, where each sunrise paints a new masterpiece and every corner echoes with memories and a call to create more. We can catch up over a cup of tea, a glass of Zambezi beer, or just relax and watch sunsets together. Escape into the world and enjoy the unparalleled safari experience that is unmatched. From self-drives to guided tours, from the iconic elephants of Hwange National Park to the elusive big cats, our safaris promise unforgettable encounters. We have accommodation to cater for every budget, from camping to luxury lodges. You are spoiled for choice, from sharing self-catering properties to all-inclusive, high-end luxurious safari camps. From the tranquil waters of Lake Kariba, the largest man-made lake in the world, to the thundering Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe is a heaven for both soft and adrenaline travelers. We know you missed the Zimbabwean beef, sadzarezio, matemba, berere, and many flavors of Zimbabwe. Our culinary journey is a celebration of diversity as we enjoy the beauty of our beloved country. Let the adventure begin. Travel and experience Zimbabwe this festive season. Zimbabwe, travel Zimbabwe.
This is your traffic and road safety highlight with some valuable road safety tips for the rainy season. Reduce your speed to match the road conditions. Shift into a low gear to maintain control on slippery roads and avoid hard braking. Gradually slow down instead of sudden braking. Remember, safety first. Exercise extra caution during rainy conditions to ensure your safety and the safety of others on the road. This message is brought to you by the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe in collaboration with Zinara.
Christmas is coming to town. Dashing through the aisles.
Wrap up the week in holiday sparkle with TM Pick and Pay's weekend winners. Brighten your weekend with real value and great savings this season. TM Pick and Pay. Real value always.
Silly to miss. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to show.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. In our next report, the public has expressed concern over the vandalism of graves amid indications that more than 300 graves were desecrated at the Westland Memorial Park in Harare.
4 suspects have been arrested for violating 380 graves and tampering with the corpses at Westland Memorial Park in Reina, Harare. The suspects Edwin Mronzi, Tinashe Chuguma, Moses Gwanya, and Kudakwache Umure were arrested on the 4th of this month after one of the victims surrendered to the police claiming that he was being haunted by the deceased. Chiguma's confession implicated Mronzi, who allegedly masterminded the operation, paying the other suspects between 15 and 20 United States dollars per grave. The revelations have sparked widespread outrage among Zimbabweans who have shocked by the disregard and violation of culture and humanity.
Ndinoona kuri kushora kwakanyanyisisa uye vanhu ivavo vari kutoratidza kuti havatozivi chivanhu chedu ende havasi maZimbabweans, because muZimbabwean wese tikatarisa kana kuri kumakuva tinoremekedza that site magraveyard.
Tingatoti ndio kunonzi kana kuti mashura kana kuguma kwenyika, nekuti zvinototyisa kuti vanhu vanoenda kumakuva vachinoita chiitiko chakaita saichocho.
Asi aingonzwa kungoti kumbudzi uko kana ini ndine munin'ina wangu akatombotorerwa dombo iroro 1, asi zvaya akawanda aya sizvakutotyisa izvi.
The Zimbabwe Republic Police has since launched an intensive investigation to account for the remaining culprits. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Harare.
Oh, indeed, a shocking development there. And that story taking us to our Montrose studios in Bulawayo, and it's Dora Ngube on standby with more news. It's a very good evening to you, Dora.
Shocking developments indeed, Joyce. Good evening to you, and Zain, many thanks for taking us on. New classroom blocks and computer lab have been commissioned at Masue Primary School in Hwange as part of the Rural District Council's drive to support the government's initiative to increase and improve education facilities in the area.
Milestone in Hwange District, Masue Primary School has unveiled new classroom blocks and a computer lab bankrolled by Hwange Rural District Council and a local development partner.
ngoba basiyenzesa kwabalentuthuko izakhamisa lapha eMasuke ngohlelo lolu olusilethele ugatsha lolu siyakhela igroup sokuzaba lula ukuthi abantwana lo mntwana ohlulekayo ukuthi vele uswele imali sesizafosa lathi ebuye esikole.
Government has lauded the work being done and pledged to facilitate more partnerships that promote development within communities.
Community Hwange, DDC Hwange, and Rural District Council Hwange, ngokusebenza kuhle nama partners since last week besilapha sivula about 6 ama-classroom blocks besebenza e-RDC Hwange besebenza nama-partners and 1 clinic. Namuhla sivule 3 classroom blocks eyakhiwe More Community Foundation esebenza khonapha esigabeni seMasuwe.
The latest development fits into the Second Republic's thrust of inclusive development in which Zimbabweans are masters of their destiny. Mshomoli Ncube, ZBC News, Hwange.
Government and its development partners are implementing programs that preserve cultural identity and heritage, with 9 schools benefiting under the Safeguarding Intangible Cultural Heritage in Basic Education.
Sikato Primary School in Masvingo is among 9 schools in Zimbabwe which have benefited under the Safeguarding Intangible Cultural Heritage in Basic Education project implemented in collaboration with UNESCO. The pilot project benefiting is intended to support the integration of living heritage into basic education. In his remarks at a high-level policy dialogue on safeguarding intangible cultural heritage in Masvingo, the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, Honorable Torerai Moyo, said the recently adopted heritage-based curriculum prioritizes enhancing cultural identity and heritage.
The curriculum framework 2024 to 2030 places emphasis on providing students with a comprehensive and culturally rich education that enables them to appreciate their heritage and local endowments in order to produce goods and services for their livelihoods for socio-economic transformation.
Communities are being implored to continue collaborating with schools in integrating living heritage in teaching and learning.
I urge you all to take advantage of this opportunity to build windmills to harness the power of our cultural heritage and drive our nation forward.
Backed by the government of Belgium, UNESCO remains committed to supporting Southern African countries in integrating living heritage into basic education.
Though Matebelele and South Masvingo and Manicaland were selected as pilot sites for the project,
We hope to see this initiative being spread across the whole of Zimbabwe.
The heritage-based curriculum places emphasis on providing learners with a comprehensive and culturally rich education that enables them to appreciate their heritage and local endowments. Mace Matina, ZBC News, Masvingo.
Government is confident the Provincial and Metropolitan Council's Administration Amendment Bill, which is being finalized, will improve efficiency of local authorities.
In an interview with ZBC News on the sidelines of a Provincial and Metropolitan Council's Administration Amendment Bill consultative meeting in Harare this Thursday, Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Honorable Ziyambi gave an update on the processes.
We felt there were a lot of issues that we needed to discuss first before we convene a proper cabinet committee on legislation so that we take the bill to cabinet for consideration. So there were issues that we felt we needed guidance from cabinet, and hence we have tasked the office of the president and cabinet under to chair the process, and we refine and we pick out a couple of issues.
Local Government and Public Works Minister Honorable Daniel Garwe highlighted how the new legislation will boost operations in local authorities.
The benefits are decision making. It's going to be a fastest way of making decisions at provincial level, at district level, going down to even at village level. That's what devolution refers to.
A representative of local authorities across the political divide added their voice on how the new bill will improve efficiency.
Isu sema local authority anova third tier of the government tinoona yakatinakira because ike zvino zvizhinji tangaisa ku central government, saka inenge yauya as second tier iri pakati nepakati kureva kuti from local authorities you just go ku provincial. Devolution inoitwa being administered at the provincial level, very close to us sema local authorities.
The government introduced the devolution, and the devolution now is being supported by a provincial council. So it will allow ease of decision making.
Besifisa ukuthi imali le devolution ihle ifikele kiyo i-provincial council kube yiyo ke ezarana maybe izinto njengabo ama roads ubeyakha izikolo kungukwenza okuphathanene lamanzi ngoba sibona ngani yiyo imali vele ebikade iqondane lakho ama-capital projects ethu.
The bill will culminate in the creation of provincial councils, which are expected to spearhead government's devolution programs. Tafadz Gwachigwedere, ZBC News, Harare.
And that's it from us here at Montrose. Zain and Joyce, over to you.
Well, thank you, Dora, and our crew at Montrose Studios in Blayo for giving us that stretch of the bulletin. We continue. The government has pledged continued support for entrepreneurs, noting their business enterprises have become an integral part of the country's economy.
Entrepreneurs who excelled in various businesses were honored for their hard work at an awards ceremony held in Harare Thursday evening. Minister of Women Affairs, Community Small to Medium Enterprises Development, Senator Monica Mchangwa, reaffirmed government's commitment to supporting entrepreneurs.
It is essential to recognize that government alone cannot achieve this, but our collective efforts as stakeholders will pave the way for the entrepreneur's success. Tonight's celebration of entrepreneurial excellence aligns seamlessly with Zimbabwe's Vision 2030 and the NDS-1. These frameworks serve as our guiding lights, aiming to transform Zimbabwe into an upper middle income society through innovation, resilience, and inclusive growth.
Accomplished businesswoman Mrs. Divine Lukwila praised the entrepreneurs for being innovative.
Access to finance, infrastructure improvements, and creating a more conducive business environment remain key areas of focus. We must work together, the government, private sector, and the international community, to foster an ecosystem where entrepreneurship can truly flourish.
The winners were grateful to be honored.
It feels so great to be part of the Empretech Awards. It's one of the awards that we're not expecting as Glide Time, but For me and my husband, having this award, it's really a blessing and we're grateful for that.
I am super happy that we've won. I remember 2013, I also won the Empretech Young Female Leader back then. So to come back again 11 years later and getting another award.
It's a great honor to be recognized, especially as a young person dominating in the security industry. It's just an honor and it encourages us to keep on pushing.
The event saw entrepreneurs from different sectors being presented with certificates of excellence. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
Meanwhile, government has commended resilient entrepreneurs for their ability to transform challenges into growth of businesses.
It emerged during the Business Council Iconic Pace Setters and Legends Awards ceremony Thursday night that several entrepreneurs had pursued growth opportunities despite socio-economic challenges. The ability to transform challenges into growth opportunities emerged as a key element in sustaining Zimbabwe's economic growth agenda. Guest of honor at the awards ceremony, the Minister of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Jennifer Mswere, who was represented by the Director of Media Services in his ministry, Mr. George Chisoko, commended the entrepreneurs for their ability to endure local and external challenges.
This platform, ladies and gentlemen, fosters collaborative efforts towards economic growth and positions participants for potential business partnerships. The atmosphere of the event tonight enhances importance in expanding networking opportunities and discovering new business ventures. As such, allow me to encourage all of you here to exchange contacts, to network. Social capital, I think you'll agree with me, in some circles is regarded as the best form of capital.
Entrepreneurs who were honored for showing commitment to their duties while inspiring the next generation of leaders pledged a commitment to work with the government on growth opportunities.
Let us take our challenge as an opportunity, because out of the challenges we are facing in the country, we can manage to strive for the better of our nation.
For one to be successful in business, you need to be resilient. You need to weather the storm. Challenges are there when you're operating a business. Sometimes the bottom line can face challenges and it's so easy to give up. But what you need to have is to have your systems in place.
I very much thank the organizers of this function for recognizing my part, being my part in the organization of the artisanal small-scale miners, that they are recognized in the mainstream economy, and that also they develop and grow to be small to medium scale miners.
The platform also created an opportunity for captains of industry and commerce to exchange ideas on business growth policies. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
The main news is off to a break now. Join us shortly for more news.
2018 kubuyile ve-EU bayikhomane ne-SADC nga-Sustainable Agricultural Technology. Vanhu valava va yi dyondzisile mhaka World Conflicts muguderiwa hi tihomu hi timhisi na tinghala. A swi vula ku ya hikwalaho va yi dyondzisile mahlayiselo ya tihomu ta hina ku hi fanele aka swivala swi nga tiya leswi swi vekiwa ma-electric fence. Ta swi vula hi kumile ma-opportunities ko tala u kota ku save tihomu ta hina kumbe ku endla start ma-own programs ta hina ma-own project ta hina ku fana ne-butchery ya ha ri kwalaho ni khensa ngopfu hi mhaka village ya hina ya mitlangu leyi so far ya tiva ku a hi fanele ku hlupheka hina tihomu ka swi lowu hi ne nhluvuko ndhawini ya hina. We are empowered.
Applications are invited for an apprenticeship training program with the Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation in the Engineering Broadcasting Technology Department commencing January 2025. Applicable trade, electrical engineering, communication systems. Ideal candidates should satisfy the following minimum requirements and submit a minimum of 5 O-level subjects, including mathematics, English language and science with grade C or better. At least 2 A-level passes will be an added advantage. Clearance letter from the Apprenticeship and Skilled Manpower Board. Preference will be given to applicants with higher educational qualifications. Certified copies of national ID, birth certificate and educational certificates. Be aged between 16 and 23 years by the 31st of December 2024. Applicants are invited to visit the corporation's website www.zbc.co.zw to apply or email applications to students@zbc.co.zw. Closing date is 10 December 2024. The Minister of Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development, Honorable Monica Muchangwa, Deputy Minister Honorable Dr. J.N. Mutlanga, the Permanent Secretary Dr. Mavis Sibanda, Chief Directors, Directors and staff of the Ministry would like to congratulate Her Excellency the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, for attaining a Doctor of Philosophy PhD degree in Tourism and Hospitality Management from the Midland State University. The Ministry wishes to take this opportunity to acknowledge your hard work and academic pursuits, which prove beyond doubt that it is possible for the girl child to break every glass ceiling and reach the top regardless of one's social standing. Congratulations, Makorokoto Amhlope. Well done. The Ministry of Women's Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development, for socially and economically empowered women and resilient communities enjoying gender equality in an SME-driven economy by 2030. The Commissioner General of Police, Tandabantu Godwin Matanga, Deputy Commissioner Generals, Commissioners, Senior Officers, members of the Zimbabwe Republic Police and their families, join His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, and the entire nation in congratulating the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, on the attainment of a Doctor of Philosophy PhD degree in Tourism and Hospitality Management from the Midland State University. This prestigious academic achievement is indeed a testament to Your Excellency's quest for empowerment, dedication and passion for the tourism and hospitality industry. Your achievement serves as an inspiration to many, particularly women and children, to pursue academic and professional goals, besides your busy philanthropic schedule across the country's landscape. This milestone achievement comes hardly a few months after recognition by other reputable institutions such as the G.D. Goenka University of India, the Russian State University for Humanities, the Zimbabwe Open University, and the University of Zimbabwe. The recent graduation is a reflection of your passion for the development of Zimbabwe and philanthropic work through the Angel of Hope Foundation. The Zimbabwe Republic Police salutes Your Excellency, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, for being a shining example of leadership, intellectual prowess, and dedication to the development and economic emancipation of Zimbabweans. Congratulations, Makorokoto Amhlope.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We go straight to the arts, where the festive mood has gripped the nation with revelers spoiled for choice this weekend. Fungai Jachi gives us more on what's in store on the entertainment scene.
No doubt, December weekends always have something to look forward to, with Unplugged being the biggest event this weekend in Harare. The event, being held on Saturday at the First Capital Bank Sports Club, promises to be unforgettable with a lineup of vibrant artists. Sensational Shasha will headline the show, with Nati O and Saint Flo also billed to perform at the Food Fest, which will showcase a variety of cuisines from Zimbabwean and African favorites. In a statement, the organizers of the event confirmed all is in place for the grand finale. Gospel lovers are in for a treat at the Harare International Conference Center as the Gospel Legends Night takes center stage. Headlined by South African gospel music icon Sipho Makhabane, the show will unite the creme de la creme of gospel music, including Pastor Charles and Olivia Charamba, Baba Mechanic Manyeruke, Pastor Haisa, Shuvai Utaonashe, Fungisai Jakavapano, Pastor Bonnet Dushel, and Minister Michael Mahendere. Organizer of Gospel Legends Night, Elena Makombe, confirmed it's all systems go.
Why not give them their flowers while at least they're still alive? We many times were very good at giving people flowers. Panamu, munhu kana afa tutanga kuti ive akanaka anga akaita sei. But I just said, God, why not we do this now and give them their flowers and thank them, just saying God, we're grateful for these legends that have paved a way, pioneered us, paved a way for us as young artists.
The Gospel Legends Night is meant to honor veteran musicians while fostering a sense of unity within the gospel music scene. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
From the arts, we now take a look at what is happening in the world of sport.
Get your business ready for the festive season with ZBC. Join us for the ZBC Mega Festive Business Promotion running from the 1st of November of 2024 all the way to January 31 of 2025. Enjoy an incredible cash discount of over 50% across all ZBC platforms. This is your opportunity to make your business shine. So celebrate with ZBC and watch your business thrive by simply booking your spot right now. For more information, call Tandeka on 0719 594 426 or Martha on 0719 593 532 or Precious on 0719 593 510 or email tandeka.mubi@zbc.co.zw. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello.
Welcome back from the break. We jump straight into our sport, where in a move that is set to shake up the Zimbabwean football landscape, Kasolaga Premier Soccer League chairperson and Caps United president Farai Jere has entered the Zimbabwe Football Association presidential race. Let's get more from the following report.
Jere, who submitted his nomination papers with all the required qualifications and signatures, is banking on his vast experience in the game to take over as the ZIFA president. From his humble beginnings as a dedicated and passionate Caps United supporter to his elevation as the Harare Giants owner and Premier Soccer League chairperson, Jere has demonstrated his commitment and dedication to the beautiful game.
I submitted my papers with all the signatures and all the required qualifications. They are in place. I am a holder of my first degree is accounting. Yes, I did accounting. I came out with a first class degree in accounting. So the issues of accountability which you're talking of, in as far as ZIFA is concerned, they will be in safe hands, and that I've already demonstrated with the Premier Soccer League. That's why you find during my term, there was harmony, there was peace, there were no issues. And I want you to look at the previous the previous terms. This was quite a cool, calm develop, and the issues of development were being pushed. The issues of accountability were being pushed. The issues of integrity. That's why you find, for the first time in the history of our Premier Soccer League, this is very, very critical. This board which I was leading managed to purchase the first asset for the Premier Soccer League for the past 32 years. There was no asset. We bought 1.4 hectares of land for $250,000 US. You can actually see the public funds the PSO holds. It's a lot of money. I'm a holder of a master's degree in strategic leadership. Right, I'm a fully registered student for the PhD, Doctor of Philosophy. So I'm working on it, and very soon I'll be graduating with the doctorate degree. This is very critical at the moment. But the vision which I have for ZIFA, what pushed me to get in there, I think I'm now ready. With the experience that I've accumulated over time,
Jere, who holds a first-class degree in accounting, a master's degree in strategic leadership, and is working towards a doctor of philosophy, is aware of the challenges facing ZIFA, but also cognizant that the proper foundation has been laid.
We have got a clear vision of what to do because I know the gaps. This is informed by the research and is setting up my mind that I want to go for this. And I know where the problem, which basically means I'm going to scratch where it itches. This is where the problem is. Rather than shooting in the dark to say nothing is happening, nothing was happening, nothing was happening. It's not correct. We have got academies which are being run in this country. We need to give credit to those men and women who stood up and make sure that football still exists in our country.
Jere's manifesto includes infrastructure development, stakeholder management, women and junior football development, as well as decentralizing football operations. He also plans to ensure that each of the 4 football regions in the country has a board member, promoting regional representation and inclusivity. Jere is among 9 candidates vying for the ZIFA presidency, including UK-based Marshall Gore, Yada owner Walter Magaya, former legislator Themba Mliswa, and previous ZIFA board member Philemon Machana, among others. ZIFA opened nominations on the 22nd of last month and will close the process on the 11th of this month.
Well, keeping our focus on football matters, the 2024 Kasolaga PSL Soccer Stars Awards are on tonight. We now connect with Mthokozis Dube, who's covering the event in the capital. It's a very good evening to you, Mthokozis, and it's over to you.
The 2024 Kasolaga playing season is done and dusted, and today is indeed a big day as we honor exceptional players on the domestic scene. So far we have seen the first 11 being presented to the audience gathered here at Golden Confer in the capital. These players were selected by a panel of experts, including media practitioners, sports journalists, coaches and captains of these particular teams. We have heard Larry Moyo, the convener of the panel, explaining as to how the process was conducted. But obviously, being a process, there are some areas of improvement as highlighted by how the people have reacted to the selection process. Now the PSL chairman Farager is giving us a rundown of how the league started and how it ended. Obviously, Zimbabwe having 5 players from that particular list to confirm that indeed they were the 2024 Kasolaga champions. But making back to that list, we have 2 players. We have won this accolade twice. Walter Msono, who is gunning for a 3rd accolade, having lifted the accolade twice with FC Platinum alongside former FC Platinum player Rodro Chinyengetere. If Walter Msono lifts this accolade for this particular year, you make history for himself. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Mthokozis, for that update. In our next report, Triangle United Football Club are gunning for glory when they play Kwekwe United in the first semi-final of the Champion of Champions tournament, slated for Butter Stadium in Gweru this weekend.
Popularly known as the Sugar Boys, Triangle United, who made a swift return to the Kasolaga Premier Soccer League after being crowned champions in the Eastern Region Soccer League last Sunday, have now shifted focus to the Champions of Champions Cup, set for Butter Stadium this weekend.
For this particular tournament, it's actually an honor where we are going to be facing champions from the other 3 regions, Central Region, Southern Region, and Northern Region. So my preparations are from Bashakanaka. We have actually been training. We actually trained on Tuesday, on Wednesday and on Thursday yesterday, because as you are aware, our guys rested on Monday and Tuesday because we played our last match on Sunday. That tournament is going to make us prepare for the PSL games, which we believe will start early next year. It will also help us to assess the strength of our team.
Triangle will face Central Region champions Kwekwe United, while Scotland FC, who were promoted from the Northern Region, take on Southern Region champions ZPC Wange in the second semi-final. The winners of the semi-finals will clash in the final on Sunday. Gaima Tambo, ZBC News, Chirezi.
And that's our look at sport, taking us to the weather report and focused up next.
A pleasant evening, Zimbabwe. Welcome to today's weather report, and let's get right to it.
Today it started off mild under mostly clear skies over much parts of Zimbabwe. However, it became mostly sunny and hot in all areas except for areas in the western parts of Zimbabwe, which were partly cloudy due to clouds slowly drifting in from Botswana. And due to these hot daytime conditions, you are kindly advised to keep hydrated and cool and avoid extended periods of time outside. And as you can see, partly cloud conditions over the western parts of Zimbabwe from Saturday into Sunday, and we're expecting a slight drop of our daytime temperatures due to cooling airflow coming from the east later on Saturday evening, and we might have some isolated thunder showers in the western parts of Zimbabwe. Tonight we're expecting clear skies over much parts of the country with partly cloud conditions over the western provinces into parts of Mashonaland and west provinces, and it should be warm throughout the night, and today and tomorrow should be largely dry and hot over much parts of the country, with highest temperatures being recorded in areas along the Zambezi and the Limpopo Valley. It should get windy later on Saturday, starting from the south and areas which should be affected are Masvingo, Matabele and South provinces. Bulawayo should be partly cloudy with hot daytime temperatures. Chinoy, very hot and temperatures dropping on Sunday onwards. Gwanda, mostly sunny with warm conditions in the morning, becoming hot by the afternoon. Gweru, the Midlands, mostly sunny, generally hot during the afternoons. Harare, hot during the day and warm mornings. Kadoma should be partly cloudy with hot daytime temperatures. Temperatures dropping on Sunday onwards for Kariba, and mostly sunny conditions should prevail. Pani should be partly cloudy with hot daytime temperatures. Kwekwe, the Midlands as well, warm conditions in the morning, becoming hot by the afternoon. Masvingo should get windy later on Saturday. Sunday windy for Matopos with slight drop in temperatures. Nyanga, mostly sunny. Victoria Falls should be hot for the greater part of the week. That's all on weather news. Christine Swanda signing out.
All that puts a cap on tonight's bulletin. From the crew behind the scenes and all of us here, good night.
Good night.
In implementing the devolution agenda, the government of Zimbabwe's main objective is to achieve economic growth and development through a system which is community-based and people-centered. Such a system ensures equitable, sustainable, and shared responsibilities to benefit all citizens nationwide. Welcome to Economic Forum, where we discuss various issues affecting our economy in Zimbabwe. These can be issues to do with agriculture, with tourism, with education, with ICTs, and many other aspects of life. We bring them here and discuss how they benefit us economically. My name is John Masugu. Today we are going to be looking at provincial economies vis-a-vis the urban ones and how they actually impact on our economic development. And we are delighted to be having the Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution for Harare Metropolitan Province, and that's Honorable Senator Charles Tawengo. We welcome you to Economic Forum.
Thank you.
Yes. We hear about the Harare Metropolitan Province, and we know at one time you were actually the mayor of Harare. So what is the context of Harare Metropolitan Province?
Harare comprises of 4 local authorities, namely Harare itself, Epworth Local Board, Rua Local Board, and Chitunguiza Municipality. We are talking of a population of about 2.4 million people.
What is the Metropolitan Province known for? I know it's also the seat of government, that's where the head of state is, but among other things, what is it known for, especially when we come to economic development?
Harare is we theme it, the pulse of the nation, whereby all the manufacturing, the commercial issues, financial, communication, it is actually the trade hub of the country. And if we talk of agricultural produce, just refer that to Mbare. When you talk of Mbare, that's when you know the center in terms of trading of all commodities in terms of agriculture. It is the home to the highest number of tertiary institutions, as you are aware. If you name all of them, even those in other areas, but their satellites are based in Harare. And also the health facilities, we have the best in the country and the biggest